it was not an easy job because, to put together 195 countries with different positions. But I think, and before that it was a mess, and we have been lucky enough to get an agreement, a precise agreement and a very ambitious agreement. I think one of the main reasons is that different planets were aligned. First, there has been tremendous work by scientists who have shown that climate change was a real problem. And therefore the public opinion now is aware of that. Second, we had a shift in the behavior of great pollution emitters, CO2 emitters, China, US, and some other countries, which before were very reluctant, and now they have understood, and their governments have understood that we have to change, and the civil society as well has changed. Now businesses are aware of the enormous problem of climate change. The churches, the towns, the regions, the NGOs, and the civil society, the ordinary citizen. And everything we have tried to organize that in order to exert a pressure to get an agreement, which is the Paris Agreement, which is a good one, but now we have to ratify it and to deliver, to implement it. Now we have an agreement, which is a worldwide agreement. Okay, we have to get the ratification by at least 55 countries, representing 55% of CO2 emissions. First, ratification. Second, implementing the commitments which have been taken in Paris in terms of finance, in terms of helping the new technologies. Third, we have at the level of businesses, of cities and regions and individuals to operate this shift, because the question is not for 50 years ahead, it's for now. One has to understand that if we don't operate this shift, the oceans will go up, many islands in the world will be destroyed, there will be enormous hurricanes, droughts, there will be a shift in the health as well, an enormous movement of migrations, menaces for security, and it's a question of the mankind which is raised. It's not a small story, it's a big one. And I think the public has understood it, but we have to organize. And I must say that Scotland is doing pretty well. This morning I was having a discussion with your First Minister, and she was in Paris, and Scotland is taking a lot of initiatives in the good direction. And it's necessary to be ambitious, because we have to show that in Europe there are countries, regions, elements which show that it is possible. Yeah, sure. Because, some countries are still reluctant. Poor countries, for instance. They say, okay, but where are the finance, where are the technologies? And some individuals are still hesitating. They don't see the positive aspects. They see the menace. But we have to show that this green growth is bringing new jobs. And the countries which will not go into that direction will be penalized 2 times, because they will be lagging behind and they will not be in a position to compete. And therefore, the examples which are given by some cities, some regions, some countries are very important. And for instance, in new technologies, wind, what is about sea, how you can save energy, how you can encourage new technologies, the cooperation between businesses and civil society, it's excellent. Well, sometimes the question is raised, can we solve the problem? Yes, we can solve it. We have the elements. We have the technologies. Now it's a question of political will. And if we don't do that, our children and grandchildren will not be able to live in a decent way. And one of my friends is saying very often, but is there a plan B? There is no plan B because there is no planet B. It's as simple as that. And it's our duty to all of us, and particularly to the leaders, but also to the whole civil society, to deliver.